Three, two, one. Government speech is just one big logical flaw. It is how they claim to protect vulnerable artists through supporting free market capitalism, when we all know time and time again how the free market caters to the powerful and disenfranchises the vulnerable. Side opposition does not want to make the same mistake. We realize how important art is in the world and we want to protect it at all costs. Proud to oppose. A few crucial clarifications on opposition stance. Firstly, panels don't fall into government's false characterization of artistic awards. Government needs a reality check to realize that the nomination of the voting process is not as simplistic as what they painted. Because A, Grammy and Oscars and other artistic awards aren't cherry picked, nor are they chosen by the unknowledgeable public. The people who vote must be professionals in the field and members of their respective organization. For example, how in order to vote for Grammys, you need to be either a singer, producer, voice engineer, etc., and be a part of the academy. Anyone in the industry can be a part and has a voice in their organization. And because of that, we say the industry is also in and of itself diverse and becoming increasingly so. But B, what do we want under side opposition? We want awards and recognitions to still exist and have the popularity. However, we can see that as time goes on, awards has become more and more diverse, with more and more categories to cater to more art styles, to creating awards and awards specifically for minorities and marginalized groups, such as GLAAD for LGBT community. Therefore, government's claim on white-centricness is clearly false. Secondly, note that government's counterfactual isn't exclusive. They fail to realize that capitalism and consumer choice still exist under our side. Artists can still find their niche market and they can get validation from their fans. Opposition's world doesn't live in a vacuum, we take all their benefits. But thirdly, let's characterize the actors involved. A, on awards executives, we think they have an interest for awards to still be highly regarded. Yes, people make mistakes historically, but now awards have shown great promise on how they're opening to diversity and integrity because they still have the incentive to not get canceled. But B, on artists, we think awards are never the artist's end goal when they decide to pursue this field, because receiving a big award is such a rarity to the point of an artist going into art simply to get awards is considered a delusion. We believe that people go into art simply because they are passionate in it. We think their joy stems from the fact that they can create art in and of itself and make people happy from it. Awards like Grammys and Oscars is just an extra cherry on top of many other kinds of validation. It is never the sole purpose. But even if they want to make this their purpose, we are totally okay with that. But they have no right to complain when things get difficult because they are the ones who consented to it. I'm going forward with two arguments: why peer validation is important and can only be done under opposition, and secondly, why awards act to counterbalance society's obsessiveness over pop culture. Before that, I have two main rebuttals. Firstly, on how artistic award diminishes the value of art. Firstly, realize the contradiction PM is making on how he said that art has subjective value, but yet belittles the value of pop songs. Because pop songs realize that they're also made by artists who are satisfied with their work. We think it is instead PM who is diminishing the value of art. Secondly, let's be generous and engage with government. If we follow their characterization, if anything, the capitalistic world the government champions diminishes the value of art even more, where every single basic pop song now is dumbed down to the same style in order to be viral. We think that's the moment art succumbs to uniformity. Because in today's day and age, consumers don't care whether the song has artistic value. They just want a catchy song on TikTok. On our side, even if the same is bound to happen, at the very least we give artists the access to be validated in other ways. But secondly, on how art shouldn't be competitive. Yes, we can see that art is subjective, but to a certain extent, we think it can be measured with certain metrics. That's why there are a lot of art schools that people spend years and thousands of dollars for, because art can be dumbed down and can be measured in a skill. Onto my arguments then. Firstly, why peer validation is important and can only be done under opposition. The premise is on how satisfaction is not just solely on validation from yourself and fans, but the people who come from your industry is a unique and needed kind of satisfaction. First, one crucial point of framing. What do we mean by peers? Peers are people who work in the same industry as you in the creative field. They're the directors, producers, etc., that has the same necessary technical knowledge to judge their peers accordingly and objectively, but also having the first-hand experience in the industry. Why is it important then? Firstly, this is the only way to get validation that you are actually skilled in the industry. When scientists have access to write and read peer-reviewed journals for validation and receive appropriate awards, we think it is no different from artists in the creative industry. We think that through all the hard work that artists have done, especially when they show promising technical skills, they deserve to be awarded and validated. For example, I would be more satisfied if a longtime debater tells me that I'm good as opposed to a stranger telling me that I'm good. Because the standard that knowledgeable people put on you is different and entails more scrutiny. Artistic awards, unlike the public, judge based on skill and not on popularity. That's why most of the movies that win Oscars over the years are not necessarily popular movies, but the ones that show the cast and crew's amazing technical skills. This gives artists access to happiness that they rightfully deserve, as well as motivation to improve upon their artistic skills, which is also within their interest. Secondly, your peers are the people who will inevitably work with you in the future, and getting their validation is crucial. Whether or not you are nominated can dictate whether or not you are called for an audition and so forth. It is important for the artist's progress in their career. In conclusion, as with any other industry on the planet, peer validation is principally and pragmatically beneficial for the artist. On proposition, artists are the ones who are dissatisfied, while on our side, we award them holistically through a range of ways. Second argument, why awards act to counterbalance society's obsessiveness over pop culture. This is a direct clash to government substantive on the value of art. What government wants is a purely free market where true art can take over, when that is clearly unlikely. Let's look at the world and culture we live in. Firstly, the world is a very fast pace. That is to say that with people's ever shortening attention spans, artists are getting forced to become more and more dumbed down into mere simplistic pop songwriters. That's why we see the songs that go viral on TikTok are ones that have similar beats and melody because that's all the public wants. The platform that exists today gives little to no room for niche artists and less popular genres. Not because they will lose the attention they crave, but because their livelihood depends on it, on how they will literally starve if they don't get enough record deals sold. What we create under side opposition is a space where even indie artists get the chance to shine on a pedestal, where Grammy categories such as Latin music and urban folk, these award categories are the only way for these artists to get a leg up and be recognized and gain a new audience, as opposed to getting washed away by the barrage of pop artists and the free market. We see niche arts get appreciated more under our side. We take government's benefit. But secondly, people only know and appreciate people in front of the stage, right? Many of us may know many pop stars and A-list actors because they are in the movies, but few of us know the talented and hardworking people behind the screens, the producers, directors, makeup artists, voice coaches, etc. These people are crucial because without them, films and music videos and so on and so forth will never get produced. On government side, these people gets pushed off to the sidelines and receive no recognition when they truly deserve it because of their skill. Let's weigh it then. On our side, every single genre and artist has a place for recognition, while on proposition, it just caters to pop artists and the people who follow the free market. In conclusion, we protect the value of art and the existence of a wide range of art styles and genres and artists, while proposition lets them off to fend for themselves. Panels, what Proposition is doing is abolishing safe havens for artists in the world over. Very proud to oppose.